Hi everybody, happy Saturday. My name is Tracy. This is the 3-Wick Thesis candle channel, and today I have for you one of my Saturday Bath & Body Works ritual hauls with the hubs. It has been 3 weeks since we did a ritual haul, so today was a lot of fun. He was sick a couple weeks ago. We were in Disneyland last weekend, so it felt good to get into our old routine. We got up, we went to a Starbucks this morning and had breakfast, y'all. That pumpkin cold brew, it's like a foam pumpkin. So good. I drank it way too fast. I got super buzzed, but it was fine. We had, well, I have a lot of stuff here. I have a BOPIS order that I actually had to pick up yesterday because it was going to get put back on the shelf. I have 2 BOPIS orders from 2 different stores that we picked up today because there was something Jason wanted that wasn't at the first store. And then at each store, I found something else I needed. So there are 5 bags here. Not a lot in each one, but enough to, I think, satisfy your craving for a Bath & Body Works haul. I'm going to begin with BOPIS number 1, and this is one that I placed, I think it was last week, Sunday. I placed this order while I was in Disneyland because Alexa, who has a channel here on YouTube, it's called Sentimental Reviews, you should totally check her out. She gave me her 25% off coupon, which was amazing and super kind. So thank you, Alexa. I did put it to good use. I got some candles in here and a few other goodies. I did print out my BOPIS receipt. They are putting the totals on there now, which is really nice. So I printed it out so that I could share with you what I paid and what I saved. Most of this is candles, but there were a couple of other goodies that were on markdown that I also snagged. I'll start with the candles though. Touch of Gold. This is the new fragrance that was just released. Gotta tell you, I was in the store today and sniffed the Fine Fragrance Mist and the perfume, and I like it better than the candle. I feel like this is more perfumey for some reason, and the Fine Fragrance Mist is more tonka. I love the tonka that's in there. So Touch of Gold has bright blackberries, golden orange blossom, and decadent tonka. You still get the tonka in here, and it does feel a little bit creamy to me. It's not quite as woody as what tonka can be sometimes, but it does have that nice vanilla tonka. And then it just feels, it almost feels like a body lotion. It just feels like a creamy tonka. I don't feel like the orange blossom comes through really strong. There's definitely like a floral in here, but to my nose, it does not read like the sharp white that I'm used to orange blossom smelling like. Granted, I'm coming from my recollection of Goose Creek's orange blossom, which may be different from Bath & Body Works. I also don't know what golden means when you put that in front of orange blossom. And then the bright blackberries, I get like a fruity element, but I don't think I would be able to identify it as specifically blackberry. So this is pretty. It feels like a bedroom scent to me. And what I've been doing lately is actually crocking my bedroom scents. So I will probably do a review on this, test it out, burn it, and all that kind of good stuff like I normally would with my reviews, and then I'll probably end up crocking the rest, because the way I like to blend candles and mix scents within, especially my open concept, I feel like I just never get through these sort of perfumey bathroom scents, but they are wonderful in my crock in my bedroom, so that's probably where this will eventually end up. Now this was normally $26.95. I think I got this when they were, was it a $13.95 price point or $14.95? I don't remember, but with the 25% off coupon, this was $10.46. Also, I really love the jar on this. Gold, appropriately gold. Kind of looks like stars or, you know, something space-like out of this universe. Gold colored lid and then white wax, and these are thin, stiff, ropey wicks. And I can see that there's like a gold foil on the inside of the label, which I think will be really pretty when that's lit. I also picked up Vanilla Birch. Now this is one that I bought last year. I picked this up at the fall sale last year, the 60% off fall sale that was in the beginning of October. And I remember feeling like it was too perfumey. And I said, you know what, this year I'm just going to give it another try, see what I think, noses change. And I sniffed this. I don't remember it smelling like this. So y'all, either they made this less perfumey, or my nose has completely changed. And I think the latter is absolutely possible, because I have literally burned through now hundreds of candles this year, and it's very possible I could have changed like my palette somehow and not find this as offensive. as I did last year at this time. Vanilla Birch, which is a classic, has white birch, Madagascar vanilla, and warm sandalwood. And I just feel like I get a lot more of the sandalwood, which is just really warm and comforting. I feel like I pick up on a lot more of the vanilla, which is a vanilla sweet without being like baker's vanilla bean. And you do get the high pitchness associated with the white birch, but it doesn't seem to be as overpowering as what it was last year. I feel like it's much better balanced with the sandalwood and the vanilla this year. So I don't know, tell me below in the comments if you've burned vanilla birch every year. Does this year's smell more mellow, more well balanced, or is it just my nostrils? Yeah, I really like it. Just a hint of sharpness there from the birch with a beautiful, warm, comforting sandalwood and vanilla. I really like the simplicity of these jars. These are White Barn. So you have a very neutral back label with a blue matte lid. This reminds me, I think this is even the same lid from the Carnival collection that came out this summer, because I don't know if y'all remember, it had like Palo Santo, sea salt and sails, the sweet tea and lemonade, and they said White Barn, but the candles weren't White Barn, and I remember people making comments like, what's up with that? This looks like the same lid. So I don't know if it is, but that's what it looks like to me. And then you've got like a fern here on the front, white wax, and these are very thin wicks. They almost look like thin curly, but I don't think they're the flat kind. I'll also note that there seems to be some sort of like motif on the inside of the jar, a floral, which looks really pretty. So I imagine as this burns down, and I can see if I can try to get the light to shine through. Yeah, no. I can see it from this angle because the light is shining this way. But if I'm looking through the light, I can see the floral. So I think when this is lit, that kind of underbelly is going to show up, which will make it really nice. So this was priced at $27.95, and I got it for $10.47 with a Lexus coupon. I also picked up Bowties and Bourbon, so this is another one of the White Barns. Same blue lid. Looks nice with the blue label on this one. Also has some florals on the front here, and scent notes of hint of bourbon, fresh bergamot, and a splash of citrus. I think I'm going to like this one. It's reading a little bit cologne-y to my nose, and I think it's the way the bourbon is playing with the bergamot in here. It's feeling both like syrupy sweet from the bourbon note, and then I feel like I'm getting like a sharp brightness from the bergamot that's reading a little bit perfumey. It also reminds me of something else. I mean, it's kind of hitting a little bit on Midnight Cocktails, but I like that one better. That one felt warmer and a little bit more mysterious. Yeah, it's very masculine. I don't know what splash of citrus is supposed to be because bergamot is technically a citrus as well, but I don't get anything like juicy in here. Of course, I am also sometimes nose blind to citrus. It's possible it's in there and I'm just not getting it. Yeah, it also kind of reminds me of sea salt and sails, now that I mentioned it. Maybe that's just my brain playing tricks on me. And it also reminds me a little bit of, like, pretty much any of the Manly sets. It's just cologne-y. It's cologne-y. I think that's why I'm hitting on all these, like, memory banks. This one does have core wicks, and then you can see this also has some sort of imagery on the inside of the label. Excited to see how those look when they're lit. So this one was $27.95, and I got it for $10.46. I also picked up the Cozy Flannel in Vanilla, and this was a part of the Fall Soiree. I think I'm saying that right. I think it just means like a party. I had to Google it. I didn't know what it meant. I think it's like a party where you invite people over for like food and music. We need to bring that term back. It sounds fun. But I love the kind of wallpaper design on this one. It's a wraparound, more of like a grayish color there. Love the lids on these too. It's like a geometric, almost looks like a snowflake, but it is supposed to be a fall candle, so I guess. White wax, and these are more of a medium ropey wick. The scent notes are your favorite flannel, toasted vanilla, and rich woods. And y'all, I love this one. It actually smells a lot like marshmallow to me, and I'm guessing that's the toasted vanilla that's in here. It reminds me a lot of like Marshmallow Fireside, and I feel like I'm hitting on like a snowflakes and cashmere vibe too. Not the same, but in that same wheelhouse. So I think if you liked either one of those, and also I think if you like Vanilla Bean Noel, you probably would like this too. You have like a beautiful sweet ooey gooey marshmallow that's just a hint toasted, which is what reminds me of Marshmallow Fireside. And then there's just a hint of something that feels a bit body care. It's not too perfumey. It reminds me more of like a lotion. I'm guessing that's coming from either the flannel or the rich woods note in here. Yeah, a little bit body care vanilla. Feels a little bit like Marshmallow Fireside, but with less of the toasted element. Really, really like this on cold. I hope this performs well because I will be buying more of those if it does. So that one was $27.95 and I got it for $10.46. And then one of the things that Alexa suggested, and thank you for reminding me that these were on sale, Alexa, was the Pink Lavender and Espresso Single-Wick in the ceramic jar, because I had mentioned that the Hubs only wants this because it's the only way you can get a Pink Lavender and Espresso candle in a single wick, and he wants one for our bathroom. And she was like, hey, maybe the Hubs can get one of those now. And I was like, you know what? I think at 25% off at $12.95, he'll pull the trigger on it. So this ended up being $9.71. Normally $22.95. I do actually like the pink, simple, modern design of this. However, the only thing I don't like is this emblem in the middle. I just think it's tacky, right? If I want a candle for decor, I don't want to be looking at that. So I probably will display it like this, which defeats the purpose of them putting it on there, but I do have that choice. And then these don't have lids, but they come with like a cover for the wax. I was trying to smell this, y'all, and I'm already not really getting scent from it. Just a hint of the lavender left in here. So I am hoping that it's just like the top layer of the candle that has lost the fragrance oil, because right now this is basically smelling unscented. Compared to if I were to take a 3-wick and take the lid off and smell Pink Lavender Espresso, it kind of blows you away. Scent notes are lavender, caramel espresso beans, and smooth vanilla. I have been describing this on my channel as hugging my grandpa. My grandfather smoked a pipe and he loved to drink coffee and sweet coffee. He was heavy on the sugar and the cream. And when I smell this, I think of hugging him and like smelling his tobacco, which is where the sweetness is coming in from the lavender and the vanilla in here, and then smelling his coffee breath. And I know for some people that might be like, ugh, you know, but for me, the scent is nostalgic and it's comforting. The Hubs likes it because he likes the kind of espresso vibe that's in here. The 3-wick is always a really good performer. We have multiples of those. You will see that soon in my collection videos. By the way, if you want to see my collection, make sure you're subscribed. He loves it. We have, I think, 3 or 4 of these in the 3-wick. So we'll see how this performs. Glad I was able to pick it up for cheap. I'm sure it will be cheaper at SAS because these are not selling. But I also wanted to get it so he could try it out. The soaps were on sale that day. I want to say they were $2.95. Yeah, that would make sense. I ended up with the coupon getting this for $2.44. And I only got this because I refilled our soap dispenser and realized I don't have any more Halloween soap left. And we have the whole month of October. So I got a Vampire Blood. And this is Red Berries, Night Blooming Jasmine, and Petrifying Plum. And I will say, if you don't like plum and ambiguous fruit notes, you would not like this. It's a little bit sour, a little bit sweet. It smells artificial to me, but I really like it. It's almost like a jelly candy vibe. It reminds me a little bit of like Halloween jellies or gummies. For that reason, I think it's appropriate for the season. I'm not crazy about the simplicity of this jar. I find it to be kind of boring. I like last year's a lot better, but I am using my Evil Queen soap dispenser, the foam soap dispenser. So this is just going to get transferred to that anyways. It's not a big deal to me. I like the fangs on the front though. I like the teeth. I just feel like the rest of it's kind of boring. So this ended up being $2.44. And then the last thing in this haul, which I know we could have just used a reward on this, But this was on sale for, was it $4.25 or something like that? Or was this $4.95? Must have been $4.95. And then with the coupon, it ended up being $3.71. The hubs needed a new one. He used up the last one that was in my empties video this past, was that Friday I posted that? If you didn't see it, I'll go ahead and link that below and put a card up here for you. But this showed up in there. He really likes this, not only the scent, but the moisturizing style body wash. This is smooth espresso, whipped vanilla, and toasted hazelnut. I'm not crazy about this. I don't like the way the hazelnut feels with it trying to be like a latte beverage. It almost feels like you put Nutella in coffee, which sounds appealing to some people, but to me, it's just not, like, the math isn't mathing in my head. But I'm not wearing it, and honestly, it's not offensive to me when he wears this. I can barely smell him when he uses the fine fragrance mist, or if he's used the body wash, or the cream, the hand cream. I don't notice, so let him get it. He enjoys it. Why not? So $3.71 for that. That's everything in that haul. So the total on this one, let me get my notes here. I have so many notes, y'all. So if I were to pay full price for all this stuff, it would have been $161.65. With the sales plus the 25% off coupon, it was $57.71. And then I bought all of this stuff with gift cards that I bought off of Amazon, and those were 20% off. So you paid $40 and you got $50 worth of gift card. So that brings my total down for this haul, this particular part of the haul that I'm showing you today, to $46.17. That's a great price. 5 candles, 2 body care items, $46.17. So thanks again, Alexa. I did put your coupon to good use, and I really appreciate you sharing that with me. Okay, that's haul number 1. Then we're on to the stuff I actually got today. This was stuff that I picked up at the outlet store, and these are some things that we decided to pick up. 1, because the 40% off sale started, but then 2, Diane, who has an Instagram page called The Planner Tita, sent me a 15% off coupon she wasn't going to use. So I was like, yes, I will put it to good use. No problem. So we picked up a few items that normally, you know, I focus my energy on stuff that doesn't go on sale very often during the 40% off sales. One of those, in this case, are some loofahs. Got the hubs and I a replacement loofah. Now these are normally $4.95 a piece, but with the sale, the 40% off plus the 15% off coupon, those each rang up for $2.53. Then I saw where they brought out these dryer sheets, and I was really curious about them and want to give them a try. So I picked up the Sun-Drenched linen scent, which is fresh linen, crisp apple, and soft musk. Why not have your clothes smell like clean clothes? Hopefully this works on static too, because that's really what I'm in it for. So these are $7.95 full price, but with the sale plus the 15% off, they came up to $4.05. And this is just your like classic linen. It's a little bit sweet, very powdery, very clean, very fresh. I don't know that I get apple. There is a tartness to it, but it reads like perfumey floral to me instead, but that's common with apple with me. Sometimes I get floral more than I do apple. So we got that. And then the hubs, like I said, loves Vanilla Cafe, so he decided to snag the Perfume. Now this one's normally $59.95, but with the 40% off plus the coupon, it was $30.58. And I know the best deal for perfume is always the buy 3, get 3, but there is no way I'm ever going to buy 6 perfumes and use them in any one sale. So the 40% off store-wide is like the next best thing in my opinion. So we pulled the trigger on this for him. And this has the exact same scent notes as the Moisturizing body wash does. He also has hauled this before in the smaller one, the like travel size perfume, which he's almost done with. So he decided just to get the larger vessel because he's been using it a lot lately. So good deal on that. Not as good as the free rewards glitch that was working on perfumes a few weeks ago, but I missed out on that. So I'll take what I can get. And then he had a reward that was expiring yesterday, which is why we put in this BOPIS order for today. And we used it on the Single-Wick Let It Snow. We have this in the 3-wick, but don't have it in the Single-Wick. So I thought I'd pick it up. And I really love all the little postage stamps, y'all. It's so cute. I love the design. And the blue label, blue's my favorite color, very festive. And this is like a gift tag, the to from. I think it's a cute idea, and I love the snow globe on the front here. Stainless steel lid, white wax, and your classic single wick, ropey wick in the middle there. Snow-covered balsam, rich amber, and sunlit lavender. The balsam is sweet and a little bit like dank, funky, because it's a balsam, so you get this like nice, sappy, dank pine. The lavender feels a little bit bright, a little bit perfumey. And I feel like I get something that almost feels more like a eucalyptus in here. That might be the way the balsam is playing with the amber. It's a little bit soapy, too. It's probably the way the lavender is playing with the pine. Yeah, I like it. It was free. Why not? So that one normally $16.95, but free. So altogether, on this one, the subtotal, if I didn't have any sales or coupons going on, would have been $94.75. Y'all, I forgot to use my gift cards on this haul. I don't know what I was doing. This happens sometimes. I just forget. So I only had the sales with the 15% off coupon, which is good, but it would have been better if I'd gotten 20% off on top of all that. So I ended up paying $39.98 for this stuff. Again, not horrible, but it would have been $32 if I would have remembered my gift cards. And I'll use them on other stuff. The hubs is like, it's fine, we'll get through them. I'm like, I know, but I will buy more. And I could have used the discount. It's not worth the trouble to redo it though, because then I would lose the 15% off coupon. Okay, so while we were picking up that BOPIS order, I realized that I also have a reward that was about to expire. Technically, it was going to be on the 7th, but I'm going to be traveling back to Michigan on the 7th, and I don't plan to go Bath & Body Works before then. So I was like, you know what? I'll just cash in my reward right now. And I've been using the Champagne Toast from last year exfoliating body wash and have really enjoyed how gritty it is. I'm sure some people don't like that as a textural experience, but for me, I really love scrubbing. Like some of the spots on my upper arms here get like, it's not pimply, but it's like red dots, and you just need to exfoliate that really well. Same with my calves, and I like, let's just clean off all that dead skin. I really like how textured it is. So I decided to get it in the Into the Night scent, which is my all-time favorite. It is, for those of you who do not know, raspberry noir, amber crystals, velvety rose petals, creamy patchouli, and mocha musk. For me, this is mostly raspberry, rose, and patchouli, and I love it. It's a little bit dark, it's a little bit mysterious. I feel like it's earthy, it's floral, a little bit sweet. It's like my all-time favorite scent from Bath & Body Works. It like across all types of body care, room spray, you name it. I love this in everything. And this is one of the few fragrances I can say that about. Like I love Book Loft, but I don't like it in the hand soap or the body cream. It's too strong. This I love in everything, including the candle. So pick that up. This is normally $18.95. Yeah, $18.95. Got it for free. Then because the hubs wanted to get a car fragrance holder, is that what these are called? For his car. We have one for mine, but not for his. And he wanted the Succulent one specifically. This was not available at the other store in the outlet. This was available at the store up the street. So we did not have a coupon for this, but it was 40% off. And this is another item that's good to get during the 40% off sale because these rarely go on sale. This was normally $12.95. With the 40% off sale, it was $7.77. This is really cute. I can see why he liked it and wanted this one. So this was only one of 2 stores in my area that still had it. So that'll go in his car. So that one we saved. I didn't do the math on that one. What is it, about $6? $5 or $6? Yeah, not bad. And then while picking up that BOPIS order, first of all, walked in, they're playing Christmas music, y'all. I get that Christmas stuff is out, but can we wait? I mean, we're talking, we have all of October, all of November, and most of December. We have 3 months. Do you know how much I'm going to lose my mind if I have to listen to Christmas music for 3 months? Can we wait until like November 1st? Can we? I don't know. But they were playing Christmas music and I was like, wow, this is really weird. And stores are not supposed to have their Christmas accessories out right now. If you look on the subreddit, there's a lot of workers who are like, oh, people are coming in saying that they saw it at other stores and we're not supposed to have it on the floor. And because they're having a 40% off sale and corporate does not want the accessories going for 40% off already. But guess what? My store had their Christmas accessories out. And because they had them out, they had to honor the 40% sale price. It did not ring up as 40% off. And by the way, I didn't have to ask her for it. She was like, oh, it's not ringing up 40% off. And then she did a price adjustment. And you can tell when they do a price adjustment because there will be an asterisk next to your price. So this is normally $34.95 and we paid $20.97 for it. And because I did actually use my gift card on this, it was $16.78. That's a steal. I'm here for it. I love it. I love it so much. I love how shiny and glittery it is. The wreath with the bow with a little bell. It's so cute. And then down here at the base, it's pretty ornate. It has like snowflakes and what looks like ribbon. Yeah, it's just adorable. And I love how the wreath reflects on the bottom. It's gold. And then this is just a gold top there. It's pretty hefty too. Not super heavy, but adorable, right? So I don't have the best candle to put on here. I don't have a Christmas one down here right now, but we'll use Touch of Gold. So you get an idea of what that looks like. Yeah, I think that's cute. So to me, this is a steal. Was not supposed to be 40% off. I took one look at that and like, we're getting it. They had another one too. Was it a polar bear on its back wearing a bow tie? It wasn't for me, but this one had my name on it. All right, y'all, that's everything. So let me give you a grand total. So if I were to have paid full price for all of this, it would have been $323.25. If I add up all my savings, so the 25% off coupon from Alexa, the 15% off from the Planner Tita, the 20% off gift cards that I used on most of these, but not all of them, plus, the 40% off sale, plus other sales that were going on, the total comes out to $110.70. Yes, you heard correctly. I got all of this stuff for $110. I'm happy. I'm satisfied. Today was fun. The weather was nice. We got to go and eat lunch and breakfast together. We stopped at a garden center. It was just a good day. So tell me in the comments below, are you excited about any of this stuff? Is your store playing Christmas music? Do you do any sort of ritual Bath & Body Works shopping with someone you love and care about? And if so, share that with me. I'd love to know. If you have any questions about any of this merchandise or my approaches to saving money, let me know, and I will answer those questions to the best of my ability. Give me a thumbs up if you want to see more of these Bath & Body Works hauls every Saturday. I will see you in my video tomorrow, which is going to be a Goose Creek lit review of, let me show you, they look like this here, this label here that includes the Autumn Romance. So that'll be tomorrow. I also have some other stuff in the background here. The Mariner Lumberjack men's candles that just came out. I've got a couple of single candle reviews, so you're going to want to be subscribed. I hope you have a great rest of your Saturday. I will see you tomorrow. And until then, take care. Bye-bye, everybody.